So we're gonna go into our predictions for double zubble. If you're a bird, zubble and nothing, zubble and nothing. So we're about to get into our little
Her.
prediction for zubble and nothing. It's gonna be this Sunday, MGM Grand Arena, celebrating 4 years of AEW, and they are on a roll right now. And this card also looks extremely stacked. We're gonna get right into it, starting from the bottom of the card. We have Adam Cole versus Chris Jericho in an unsanctioned match. Who do you have?
Oh, that sounds messy. I would like Adam Cole to go over, even though I have
Mm.
not been keeping them. I would want Adam Cole to go over. What do you got?
I'm gonna go same. I want to see Adam Cole win. I love. I don't know if you watched Dynamite last night, but
Did I have a chance
them
now?
it was so interesting. They did a little contract signing, and Chris Jericho said, "You're stupid because it's an unsanctioned match and it's all of us against you." And he was talking about Jericho Appreciation Society. Also, they've kind of quietly removed Sammy from the JAS, which I think is very smart and very good because he doesn't need to be part of that anymore.
Mm.
Because now that Sammy's kind of in the world title picture, I don't think that him being next to Jericho would help him any bit. But Jericho, back to the main point, Jericho said, "There's five of us, and there's only two of you," referring to Adam Cole and Roderick Strong. And then he said, "Well, that's where you're wrong again, because I made a call to one of my idols who's more crazier than all of you. He's the homicidal, suicidal, genocidal Sabu." And out comes Sabu, and he throws a chair in somebody's face. And it was great. Just whomp. I love Sabu for that.
He's
But
so
yeah, like,
reckless. I love him.
but Sabu is going to be in the corner of Adam Cole alongside Roderick Strong. Personally, I would love to see a little Kyle O'Reilly uh kind of cameo in there. Who's this calling me? Not picking up. Um a Kyle O'Reilly kind of interruption in there, just so that we can see like an undisputed reunion. But I do have
That'd be
Adam
fun.
Cole. That would be fun. I think that we're gonna get like a nice little Adam Cole um victory here. I think that he deserves to go over. I think this is the match for him to kind of go over in, because technically unsanctioned means it's not against, like, it's unregulated by AEW, which means that it doesn't count for the win-loss record. So it will be a win that won't count. But I think that Adam Cole's going to go over. Now we're going to go into a six-man tag. Ethan Page and the Guns, which is Austin Gunn and Colton Gunn, versus the Hardys, Jeff Hardy, Matt Hardy, and Hook.
Oh my god, Hook being paired with them is genius.
I
Oh
love
my
that.
god. I love that. That's honestly a combo I would never have put together on my own. So that's fucking fire. But I'm always on any side that Jeff is on, even if it's at the expense of having to, for one night, be a mid Hardy fan. So I'm gonna go with the Hardy Boys and Hook.
Mo cheering for Mid Hardy is the concept that I was not in my
Was not
2023 bingo.
the heel
But
turn unexpected.
yeah, I'm gonna go with Hook and the Hardys on this one as well, because I feel like this is gonna be the final nail in the coffin to this whole Firm versus Hardy situation. So I think that the Hardys and Hook are gonna pull this one off. But yeah, I think it's gonna be the Hardys and Hook. But we're moving on to Jade Cargill versus Taya Valkyrie for the TBS Championship.
Now, once you get here, um, that actually is gonna probably be a decent match for Jade. Just because even if I don't really care for Taya, like she's actually a very good wrestler.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so I'm assuming that they're going to be consistent with Jade. I don't know when they're going to take the belt off, but I don't feel like it's going to be soon.
Mm.
But how do you feel about her having the belt for this long? Do you feel like they're doing anything with it?
Honestly, and this is the reason why my prediction may shock you. I think that, first of all, I think that Taya is gonna win.
Really? Why?
Uh, um, Jade's run has run a little dry.
Yeah.
I feel like Jade's reign has run a little dry, and I think that she needs something new. I also feel like because the last time Jade and Taya had a match for this belt, Jade won off of a roll up, and Taya then got suspended, and now she's back. Um, but I think that they did that intentionally. I feel like they wanted to set up a two match type of situation
Hmm.
because that means Jade can win one and Taya wins one. Jade doesn't look weak.
Hmm.
And
I
it's
think that
double or
makes
nothing.
sense. Okay.
It's double or nothing. I think that because of the size of this event, there needs to be a title change. Um, that happens. That's like whoa. So I think that we're gonna
That's
see Taya
true.
Valkyrie beat Jade.
But
And if she
then,
does, it doesn't look bad on Jade. You know,
but then what's next for Jay? Do you think they're going to,
world
like,
title,
nah,
world
yeah?
title. I think that she can go for the world title and win.
Do you think she's ready
Um,
for it, like wrestling
yeah,
wise?
I think so. I
Okay.
personally think so. I think that's part of the reason why she's been the TBS champion for so long.
It's like almost her developmental.
It's been her like development type of situation. But
Interesting.
I do think that she's ready for the world title. Um, and also we may see a little character change in her. We may see a face turn. You know what I mean? And
I don't even know how I feel about that.
we may see her being developed as a face. Anything could happen. I feel like because the whole exodus of like the baddies, like, and now the only one left is like Layla Gray. I feel like we can see like Layla Gray leave, and then Mark Sterling leave, and then kind of having like a reckoning, and then she kind of rebuilds herself as like this new person, then goes after the world title. I feel
The
like
only
that's a good little.
way I could see her like being bought in is like with the Bianca treatment.
That'd be interesting. I mean,
Because
look,
I mean,
she's already pressed. You know what I mean?
yeah, she has like a stacked resume, and she had a master's degree. She did basketball. No, I think she has 2 degrees, if I'm not mistaken. Someone, I mean, don't quote me on it, but could have swore she said in a tweet that she has 2 degrees. She's a model. She's a mom. You know what I'm saying? Like she has all these things that could make her like it makes her a bad bitch, which was perfect for a heel, right? Because
Right.
she's just bad, pretty. She's all that, and she's wrestling, so she's just adding to her list of things that she could do because she could do it all. However, you could kind of give her the Bianca treatment and then flip that into not an EST exactly,
Right.
but kind of like an EST. Like, she could be
Just a
empowering.
superwoman. Yeah.
Basically, that's actually the best way to bring her in, considering that she already cosplays. I would love to see her come out as like a Superwoman or Wonder Woman when she peaks and she gets the belt one day. That'd be
Right.
great.
That would be good. I'll be in favor of that. But yeah, I
Hmm.
think Ty is gonna win this little diddly. But we're gonna move on to the next match, which is Orange Cassidy versus Aaron Solo versus Powerhouse Hobbs versus QT Marshall versus Ricky Starks. I think this is gonna be a 20-person battle royal for
That's
the
a lot.
AEW International Championship. Who do you think wins this match?
Sorry, the international championship was replacing the
All Atlantic.
King. Oh,
All
Atlantic.
Atlantic.
Okay. Oh, well, I see that you only mentioned the relevant people, then put 16 TBD. So,
Yeah.
based off of that, I'm going to go off of those 5 people. And I'm going to give it to Ricky Starks because it's fucking Ricky Starks. And I feel like he's been white hot. He's always been white hot. And I'm very over Orange Cassidy. I
Mm.
haven't barely been watching, but I just find his whole stick to be boring, and he needs to remix something over there. But I feel like Ricky makes the most sense for me. But then again, I'm a stan of Ricky, so I can be biased. What do you think?
I agree with Ricky Starks. Here's my problem with Orange Cassidy. I don't get tired of Orange Cassidy. I really like him. I really like his style. I think it's needed. I think he's a star
Why is it needed?
because it it's something that's distinct. It's something that is specific to AEW that makes them distinct from WWE. Right? As far as the type of character that Orange Cassidy is. He's not your typical star. Like he does not have the typical presentation. But what I will say is this, because of the whole him putting the championship in the bag. Like literally every time I forget that he's the champion because I don't
Yeah,
see him with the title. I see him with the bag and then he pulls
yeah.
the title out the bag. And I feel like while that's cute and that's good and that works for his character, I feel
No,
like
it
that's
doesn't.
harmful
He's
to the
better
championship.
because you're holding more stuff. You didn't want to wear the belt, so you're gonna hold it in a bag. Like to me,
Right.
that's
And it
dumb because it's more work to go pick up something, put it in a bag, and carry a bag on you. When
right.
you can just have him be lazy and drag it. Or he was better off
Right.
having someone carry it. To be honest, but he was better off just
Honestly.
dragging it like a sloth. But go ahead. Sorry, that's my little
But
two cents.
I think that the title needs to be visible. It needs to be front and center. It needs to
Yes,
be prominent, especially
yes.
if you're trying to heavily feature it. And so I think that the person who's going to make that championship visible and mean something is Ricky Starks. So I'm going to go with Ricky Starks on this one. I think he's going to win. Plus, he's been like overdue for a moment now. So that's my thing on him. Next, we have the Anarchy in the Arena. We have the Blackpool Combat Club, which features Brian Danielson, John Moxley, Claudio Castagnoli, and Wheeler Yuta versus the Elite and Kenny Omega, the Young Bucks, and Hangman Adam Page. Who do we
Well, that's a lot of humans.
have?
I'm just saying. What is the backstory with them again? Why are there so many
so,
people?
so, all right, so boom, man. I wish you were watching. I wish you watched Dynamite. So essentially, what was happening was the it started. It well, it didn't really start, but obviously, um, Kenny and Moxley have a feud that grew into Kenny versus Moxley, as well as the BCC getting involved because that's Moxley's faction, right?
Okay.
That grew into them consistently attacking and targeting Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks.
Okay.
After consistently attacking them, they said you're outnumbered. Da 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 da. They came out. Kenny Omega came out. The Young Bucks came out with all these different weapons, and then out of the
Mm-hmm.
blue, the Hangman's theme comes on, and I love it because they've been teasing a Hangman Elite reunion for so long, at least 2 years now. There would be like
Mm-hmm.
times where like Hangman would walk past the Elite and would like give them a look like I want to be y'all are my friends. Like I love y'all, but I can't say it. I gotta
Aww.
be prideful. Or like he would come across old pictures in like BTE. So now BCC outnumbers the Elite and they're about to go down there and fight 4-on-3 again with weapons. And then Hangman comes out and they all go down in the ring and they beat up the Blackpool Combat Club. And then Hangman gets on the mic and says, we're the heart and the soul and the spirit of all elite wrestling. We. And then he looks at these
Aww.
guys and said, we are the elite. So now Hangman is back in the elite officially. He's no longer in like the weird faction limbo of being the friends of the Dark Order and friends with, he's in the elite. So now because of that, we have a match between Blackpool Combat Club and the Elite and an Anarchy in the Arena match. So, with that being said, who do you have?
Oh, based off that lovely tale that Jordan just told us, I'm definitely going with the Elite and Hangman because that's the only way you wrap up a story that you dragged out for 2 years like that.
Mm,
Because what do you do when they lose? What do you do in a situation when if they lose? All that meant nothing. So I'm
mm,
gonna go with that, but I'm still expecting a banger because everyone here, minus Willer Yuta, because I don't care for him, he's useless. Everyone else here is pretty useful and very
mm,
great wrestlers. So I'm imagining a banger and a reunion, and
mm.
then they're probably gonna make a spectacle out of this. What do you think?
Absolutely. I mean, absolutely and rightfully so. I also believe that that the Elite and Hangman will win this match. I think that this is the perfect, like you said, the perfect way to kind of cap off this story and a perfect place to end it, right? I mean, not end it, but like kind of like put the cherry on top because remember, it was Hangman and the Elite that announced All Elite Wrestling together. And so the
Mm,
first show was Double or Nothing. And to kind of see where they were 4 years ago and to see where they are now, this has kind of been a match that's been 4 years in the making. And so I think that them winning is really the only practical, logical, and right decision. So boom, there's that. Now moving on to the next match. Gosh, there's so many matches. We have
oh,
Jamie Hayter versus Tony Storm for the AEW World Women's Championship. Very excited for this match. I think this is going to be a banger. Wanted to know, who do you believe is going to win this one?
I'm very much over Tony Storm for personal reasons. Just yeah, but Jamie had it for a while now. Or maybe it feels like a while because I haven't watched it like that. And we're damn near in June. She got the belt in like what, December or January or something like
Yeah.
that? Hmm. Hmm. I wouldn't be surprised if they gave it to Tony just because they've been building this whole thing up with her and the faction she's working in. But she
Mm-hmm.
already had it, and I'm like, all right, well, she gets the belt. Then what did they do with Tony in this faction? Like, what does the belt mean to the faction now they have it?
Mm.
Well, based off a person like me that wasn't watching, I'm going to go ahead and guess Jamie, as I don't understand how this belt would help out Tony if she had it. Personally, I don't see how it would help her out with the group if she had it. But what do you think? I feel like you're about to just like rip through everything I just said.
So, as someone who has been watching, I can see Tony Storm winning, and here's why.
Mhm.
The Outcast, which is the faction of Tony Storm, Ruby Soho, and Soraya, they
Mhm.
have had a it's like a cycle attached to them where they constantly build back up, do a bunch of disrespectful stuff to the women's roster, get beat by the top dogs, get sent back down. Then they kind of work their way back
Mhm.
up, try to come at the top dogs, get beat, get knocked back down. And that could happen in the form of them versus Britt or them versus Jamie or a tag match or a six man or whatever. It always is like a cycle of just them going back and forth. And there's been
Mhm.
no real momentum shift. If they want to solidify the Outcast as a credible faction, they need to not be the hunter. They need to be the hunted. They need to be at the pinnacle of the women's division in order
That
for
makes
them to gain
sense.
the credibility that I feel like they want to attain. And so I feel like if you keep on putting them in a position where they're constantly chasing, it kind of makes them look like they're lacking power. And so I feel like if Tony wins the belt, it's like, okay, now the momentum is shifted to us. Now you have to chase us. We're no longer at your mercy. You're at our mercy. So I feel like based off of that logic, I think that Tony Storm can win the belt. Also, I feel like they're going to want to do this properly with Tony because when she was the women's champion, she was the interim women's champion. And that's something that she's made very, very known that it's bothered her. Is like, I held the belt and I was considered interim. So I feel like they're
Oh,
going to
that's
use this
true.
opportunity. I think that they're going to use this opportunity to kind of make it right and give her a legitimate world title reign. Um, Also, she's been doing a lot of cross promotional stuff. She was at New Japan Strong, helping out Juice Robinson in a match with Fred Rosser.
Oh, that's so cool.
So,
I love that.
so they literally she did a pile driver on him, and so I think that if the plan is to continue to kind of have them do cross branding and cross promotion, I think that Tony Storm putting the belt on Tony Storm is going to be great for the company. So that's my take on that.
Oh,
Now
actually.
we're going to move on to for the TNT Championship. We got Wardlow versus Christian Cage. Who do we have? Oh, it's Wardlow versus Christian
Yeah.
Cage
Oh,
in a
wait, wait.
ladder match.
Oh,
Did you hear me?
he got Arm Anderson.
Arn Anderson,
He
Glock
got Arm
Anderson.
Anderson. Oh no, he got that. He definitely got that. Nah, I'm like off of that. I'm gonna give it to Warlow, even though I
I'm
love
weak.
Christian Cage. I want to see what kind of turtleneck he pops out with for the
Yeah,
steel cage match. Doing a steel cage match in a turtleneck must suck. Like if he gets hooked on,
bro. I know he be hot.
if he gets hooked on about the turtleneck part, I'm gonna laugh. I'm gonna laugh so hard. But um, yeah, I kind of want to give it to Wardlow. Yeah, but then I don't know. I'm actually conflicted.
Mm.
I'm actually conflicted. Hey, wait, has Christian held the belt at all?
Christian
He
hasn't
has,
held the
right?
belt. Well, he
He has
held the
a belt.
Impact World Championship.
Ooh.
Um, he won it on AEW TV, but he is not held. I don't think that he has held an AEW belt.
Wait, he had. Oh, wow. Hmm. Okay, no, I'm changing my answer. I want Christian.
Hmm.
As much as I love the armed Anderson, I'm gonna go with
Armed
Christian
Anderson.
here.
Glock Anderson. I I'm gonna go with Wardlow. I think that the bigger story than Warlow and Christian Cage is kind of this tension between Christian Cage and Luchasaurus, because Luchasaurus visibly wanted that TNT championship match. And so I think that this is going to be an opportunity where Luchasaurus is going to kind of walk out on Christian and eventually challenge uh Warlow on his own. But I do think that Warlow is going to win this match. So I got Warlow. But moving on to the AEW World Tag Team Championship match. FTR versus Jeff Jarrett and Jay Lethal with I think it's Mark Briscoe is going to be the special guest referee of the match. This has been actually one of the most entertaining builds in some while. So I'll give you
Why is
context.
Karen here though?
Oh, so this is part of the context. Let me summarize the build for you. So, after Mark Briscoe gets brought into AEW, you have Jay Lethal and Jeff Jarrett kind of manipulating Mark to be aligned with them, and then
Mm-hmm.
because Jay Lethal and Mark Briscoe are like best friends. Then on the other
Mm-hmm.
side, FTR and Mark Briscoe are also best friends. So at first they were teaming together, but there was a rift in trust and communication, which led the two teams to feud with each other. Now essentially both teams are kind of asking him to pick a side. At one juncture when they had a confrontation, um, there was a point in time where they messed up. I think they sprayed something in Dax's eye, and because he was blinded, he accidentally pile drove Mark Briscoe. So now you have one side trying to manipulate him. You have another side that is trying to, is giving the impression that they are not, that they are not really for him. And
Okay.
now he's kind of torn in the middle. He's kind of stuck in the middle. Then there was an attack. FTR was trying to attack Jeff and Jay, and then what happens is Karen Jarrett shows up and
Mm-hmm.
distracts them. They both get hit with guitars, and then that's what led to now where we're into now. So it's interesting because the momentum, like Jeff and Jay have been outsmarting FTR every step of the way. But at the same time, Mark Briscoe is still kind of split in the middle, and he's going to be the special guest referee. But it's like, what thing is he going to take more personally? The fact that he knows he's being used by Jay and Jeff, or the fact that Dax pile drove him?
Hmm. Off of all that buffoonery that I just listened to, I'm gonna go with Jeff Jarrett, Kurt Angle's ex-wife,
I'm weak.
FDR.
Kurt Angle's ex-wife is OD.
That's how I feel. That's how I feel about that. Who do you have?
Personally, um I have FTR. I don't see FTR losing the belts. I really don't. And if they do lose them, I highly doubt that it would be to Jeff Jarrett and Jay Lethal. But yeah, I think that FTR is gonna win. They're gonna come out on top.
Oh, they're all
Um,
separate? I read that wrong. Oh, it's a
the
three
what?
way. I read that so wrong.
It's
I
just
thought for
Jeff
some.
Jarrett and Jay Lethal. It's a team on team match. But Karen Jarrett, Sanjay Dutt, and Satnam Singh are going to be accompanying Jeff Jarrett and Jay Lethal.
Okay, I read that so wrong. Yeah. All right. No, I changed my answer to FDR.
Yeah. But all right, so boom. And then the main event, we have the four-way match for the AEW World Heavyweight Championship. We have MJF versus Sammy Guevara versus
Ooh.
Darby Allin
Ooh.
versus Jungle Boy Jack Perry. Who do we have?
And MGF still has it.
MJF still has it.
The options were. MJF,
right?
Darby, Jungle Boy, and then who's up the fourth one?
Sammy,
I mean,
the
they
four
have
pillars.
been. They have. Yeah. Wow, that's crazy. I didn't even think about it that way. I mean, I would love to see Darby win something because I adore Darby, but I feel like they've been working really hard with the Sammy angle.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like he's like a safe person to get it. And I mean, people will be mad if he won. But I mean, I just feel like why are you building him as like this baby face
Right,
to be taken seriously and detaching from Jericho if you didn't want him to like win something?
right.
Um, because MJF could lose it, and I don't think that anyone would be mad if MJF lost it.
Mm,
But my heart would want Darby, but I feel like it's going to go to Sammy. That's how I
mm.
feel. What do you think?
I think I'm gonna go with. I think I'm gonna go with. I think I'm gonna go with Sammy. I think I'm gonna go with Sammy Guevara.
Mhm.
Actually, no, I take that back. I think that's gonna be
Hmm.
MJF.
Why?
I think MJF is gonna retain. I don't know. Somehow, some way, he's gonna retain the belt. I feel like he's gonna retain it. I feel like he's gonna be a very, very smart, conniving, strategic heel in this match, and he's gonna let everybody kind of go all out because everybody's a high flyer, everybody's a daredevil, everybody's trying to put everything on the line.
Hmm.
MJF is trying to win the match. And I feel like
Hmm.
that's gonna be the story. So y'all could wild out. Y'all could do 738s from the top of a ladder. Y'all could jump from the ring to the
But I'm
table, from the
smarter and
ring
I'm better
into
than
a chair.
you.
Exactly. I'm gonna be smarter. I'm gonna play the smart role, and I'm gonna let y'all exert all y'all energy, and I'm just gonna stay on the outside, and I'm gonna pin y'all, and then that's it.
Yeah, he's
But I
probably
think
gonna
that's
sabotage the last high flyer or something. I don't know,
probably, and
push
then
somebody
just.
off or something. I don't know, something corny, and then pin them.
But
Yeah,
I
you're
think MJ,
right. Go
I
ahead.
think MJF is gonna win. I feel like the stock in him is really high at this point. And I feel like if they want to solidify MJF is like the guy, him beating the four pillars is gonna 100% solidify him as the guy. But yeah, that concludes our Zubble or Nothing production predictions. Let us know in the comments if you agree or disagree with any of our predictions. But it looks like that's it for today's show.